Do I need any introduction here? If y'all didn't know me, if you don't know me by now, hey, come on now. You know I'm always gonna go back to those songs. That's what floats my boat. Oh, technology. Where's that slide? Okay, all right. There's a dial. You know, I'm gonna go back to paper. There it is. Is that it? All right, there we go. Yeah, it's a challenge. The good news is my granddaughter's coming to live with me. I'll be better going forward. She helps me with everything. So I had to sit back and ponder what could I say about today's service, about really understanding Spirit is in me, and I'm not really in the process of that, but it's all happening already. I mean, I just need to wake up to this, I think. So here's where I said, sit down and be here, presence, imperfection, whatever that is, and the love that holds us all, right? That's where I went with this. So, as they say in the wedding service, but I'll say it to y'all, dearly beloved, this fabulous community. Let's not rush into these thoughts this morning. If you would, take a breath with me. I hope it wasn't a polite breath, not a surface breath, but the kind of breath that says, I am here. I need you to hear me clearly. I really need you to hear me. Time is not the issue. What is time? Now, if you're in the military, and I understand they operate on a different scale. And if you're a school teacher, when the bell rings, those students better be sitting in their seats, right? But what is it on the realist level? What is time? Dear ones, you are not late. You are not behind. You are not missing any moment. In fact, you are the moment. I'm going to be narcissistic. Can you say it with me? I am the moment. All right now. Let me tell you how I come to this. Now, you know, I tell my story over and over again because it's in the telling of a story that you get to know somebody, right? I teach adult education classes. They say I've got to give my students the same material minimum 7 times, and the latest information says 11 to 12 times before they're fully inculcated into themselves. So repeat is not my dementia. Repeat is my trying to let you know me better. Know me better. So, dear ones, 2 of us are from Harlem here, aren't we? There's 2 of us. Raise your hands in the air. Yeah, us Harlem people, all right? Hey, I come from Harlem, the Big Apple, right? From a people who have learned how to be present in the middle of all kinds of struggle. There are people who have lived their lives in the middle of all kinds of joy, because if I could tell you about the Easter parade or Juneteenth in Harlem or Harlem Days, you'd see some joy personified. But we're also a people that live in the midst of contradictions, too. I come to you unapologetically black. And it's interesting because in that song by India Ari, she says, I am not the color of my skin, right? Or the race. Because race is an artificial construct. Color, well, what is color? I thought I was born a black boy would die an elderly black man. Surprise, surprise. Is that Gomer Pyle? Surprise, surprise. Things can change, right? But I'm still that unapologetically Negro, right? I'm that black man. Marcus Garvey's son sitting at my kitchen table. the first man that said black was beautiful. Don't get it fuzzy. Marcus Mosiah Garvey, a Jamaican. I'm just a half Jamaican. Right? Unapologetically black. Rooted in history, culture, rhythm, survival, and brilliance. And I don't check that at the door of my spirituality. I don't think whatever you are, whatever people you come from, you should ever have to check that at the door, any door. Not in the temple, not in the masjid, not in the cathedral, not in your workspace. You are who you are, created by the divine, manifesting itself in that form, right? So don't check it anywhere. I want to bring it with me here, because the God I know did not make a mistake in making me. I was meant to be black, and then I was multicolored, and now I'm pink, right? I am as I'm supposed to be. I stand in love. I stand with interfaith notions, all those ideas that are so wonderful. I stand because I know whether you call it God, Allah, Brahman, source, divine, mind, whatever, spirit is in all of us, and I know it's in me. There is one life, right? Ernest Holmes says, the spirit is always flowing into us and ever expressing itself through us. The two are one. So I'm not talking about God today. I'm talking about God as we, as us. Do you fully hold that? Own that? Even when life gets messy. Sometimes we think our problem is imperfection. I know I did. I had cancer. What had I done wrong, oh God? Why me, oh God? When my immune system crashed and I turned into the illustrated man, why me, oh God? What have I done? Because clearly I must have done something, right? I had to do something. I need to fix this. I think that's the ASL sign for fix. I need to get better. I need to be ready. But let me free you of these notions. My imperfection, whatever that was, and whatever you are thinking is imperfection in you, toss it aside, folks. Your imperfections are not the issue. Your absence is. Because while you were trying to fix yourself, while I was trying to fix myself, while I was trying to heal from something that I didn't understand, I was missing out on life. I was missing out on what the divine was trying to inculcate in me. I was missing it. Holmes reminds us the whole of God is present at any and every point within, get it, God. If we manifest that, then it's all there in the midst of everything. You mean even between the sheets? Yes, even between the sheets. See, Rumi tell you about being intimate with the divine, so I'm not the first one to utter that notion, and that may be some of the more glorious notions, but that means right here, right now, nothing is missing. There is nothing missing. Not that bank account that you want to grow, not that burning of the mortgage, nothing is missing. The Buddha says, be here now. Be here now. Jesus says the kingdom is at hand. The Sufis say God is closer than your breath. And yet we keep saying later. Ralph Waldo Emerson warned us, we cannot be strong or happy until we live in the present. So again, I ask you, what are we waiting for? Let me tell you a story. I like stories. Sometimes philosophy is great, sometimes theology is ethereal, and yet stories. I want to tell you about a woman I knew named Miss Lila. She lived on 124th Street, around the corner from my parents' law office on 125th Street. My parents' office next to the Apollo Theater. That's how I got to see and meet so many greats of the 1960s and 70s era. Miss Lila told me something one time. She said, little boy, sit down. She said, little boy, you're racing around, but time is not the issue. She said, sit with me and be still, be quiet. Stay right here. I looked upon her and she started tearing up. She said, sit. I said, the chair's uncomfortable. She said, it's not the chair, baby. She said, sit. I said, I want to go. She said, no, honey, sit a little more with me. She said, what you uncomfortable about? I said, you don't have to be uncomfortable about anything. You're God's beloved. God is in you, baby. I gazed upon this old woman. Miss Lila looked like Miss Jane Pittman. Any of y'all ever see the story of Miss Jane Pittman? Yeah. Cicely Tyson goes from a young woman to Methuselah. I mean, she was older than old. I don't know how she held her head up with all that makeup on her face. Just all that makeup. If you haven't seen Miss Jane Pittman, I encourage you to see that movie. But Miss Lila, hear me. She said, you don't need fixing, baby. I know your parents get on you. You got the, what she call it? She said, you got the wiggles and wobbles in you. Because I was ADHD, but we didn't even know what that was back then. I know my mom had a switch in her purse. Don't make me pull that switch on. Miss Lila didn't solve my problems. She didn't give me a 10-step plan. What she did do was bring me back to the reality that whatever I was in that little incarnation of little Gordon, little troubled Gordon running the streets of Harlem. I'll be right back, Mommy. Be gone for 2 hours, right? Running the streets of Harlem. I was God. God was within me. The Spirit was within me. I was blessed and whole, even in that little crazy boy that couldn't be still. Hell, I'm still that man that can't be still. I wiggle and wobble to this day, and no, I don't take the meds they'd like to put me on, no. Me and ADHD are friends now. I learned to understand. You know, ADHD people tend to have a higher IQ than others. Oh, you know, they try to put us down, but, you know. Yeah. Miss Lila. She brought God to me in a real way. She made me understand that God, the God Spirit, the divine energies, we all part and parcel of it. It's everything and everywhere. It's not outside of me. It's right in me. So let me answer a core question. What changes in me when I choose to be fully present, even in my imperfection? Let's answer this. Because what I guess that's at the core of this. What is it that needs to manifest maybe differently for us to fully accept that we are just as we're supposed to be, but the realization, that wake up, maybe it hasn't happened? One thing that I came up with is stop fighting with yourself. Instead of what's wrong with me, I want you to ask, what is here? And you know what the answer is. What is here is sacred, right? It's not what's missing. It's not what's wrong with me. It's the realization that what I am is sacred. 2, who are you? Living in the present means becoming aware of our true identity. Those are the words of Sosa said that. You are not broken. I am not the, what? I am none of those things that went wrong. I'm not that. I'm not the cancer. I'm not the little boy that wouldn't sit still or the little girl that mommy, what's wrong with you? My mother and sister was always fussing with one another. Mommy, leave that girl alone. She's God incarnate, right? I don't know. I didn't have that understanding, but why are there so many difficult relationships? Siblings, parents, co-workers, neighbors. Why? You aren't broken, and neither are they. You are divine unfolding. 3, I said, re-enter love. Presence is love, friends. Love is presence. When you are present with yourself, you are loving yourself. When you are present with others, you are loving them. When you are present with life, you are loving God. It's not all that hard, right? But we overcomplicate things, don't we? Would you all go somewhere with me? Would you meditate with me for a moment? If you're comfortable, close your eyes, please. Take a deep breath. Let it drop into your body. Let it out. Take another breath. Pause, hold it if you can. Notice where you are. Not where you think you should be, not where you were, not where you are going, just here. If there's tension, notice it. If there's emotion in you, notice it too. If there's noise in your mind, notice it, and that's all right. And instead of fixing anything, would you say this with me? I am here. I am here. Now bring awareness to your heart and feel this truth. The same presence that home speaks of, the same spirit flowing through all things is flowing through you, through me right now. You don't have to be worthy. You don't have to be ready. You don't have to be perfect. Just breathe. And gently say, nothing is missing in this moment. Nothing is missing in this moment. Come back when you're ready. If your eyes aren't open already, open them up. I've got an affirmation for you. This is going to be like Mother Zion, AME Church, or something. I don't know. Abyssinia. Here I go. I'm going to say I am here, and you're going to say I am here. I am here.
I am here.
I am whole.
I am whole.
I am not broken.
I am not broken.
I am becoming.
I am becoming.
The Spirit lives as me.
The Spirit lives as me.
Love is present now.
Love is present now.
Beloveds, we are never the problem to be solved. You are the presence to be realized. You are not late. You are not behind. You are not disqualified by anything anybody ever told you. You come from a people so bold, who learned how to sing in sorrow, who learned how to dance in the midst of struggle, who learned how to praise despite pains. That's presence, that's power, that's God's love. And that same love that carried our ancestors, that same love that helped our parents and others, the same love that carried you here to this center today is breathing in us right now. So be still a little longer. Be here. Let love, be love, speak love, know love, and do what it has always done. It makes us all whole. And so it is.